we're getting started, everybody. Can you guys hear me out there? Yeah. I mean, can you guys hear me in the lobby? I don't know if the speakers are in the lobby. Can you hear me out there?
No. No, your voice isn't coming out there. Come on, everyone, let's go. My voice carries.
7:03.
I don't need a microphone.
We're starting.
Yeah.
3 minutes late.
Yep.
7:30, we've got Brad Knott coming live to you from the Zoom.
Nice.
Cool.
New congressman.
Congressman-elect Brad Knott from DC.
Straight from DC.
Straight from DC.
Hope he's using the men's room.
He has to. He can't use a woman's room now because it's against the rules. I did not get coffee.
Did he start already?
I thought he started. Oh, no, they don't,
I was gonna say-
they get sworn in
Yeah,
January.
he's an orientation.
Yeah, freshman orientation. And then he starts January 3rd, I think, is his inauguration, his swearing in. I don't know. He hasn't said. What?
January 6th.
Is it January 6th?
No, he's
No.
just kidding.
All right, welcome everybody. Thank you for being here. This will be a relatively quick meeting. Although we do have a lot to cover, it'll still be pretty quick. Russ, if you'll lead us in opening prayer.
Okay. Dear God, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. Thank you for the results of the last election, Lord. Bless this group together here tonight, God. May everything we do honor you, and we thank you so much for living in America. In Christ we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Russ. All right, Brad.
Wait, stand, remove your lids, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Frank Sossaman. He's not here. So I spoke with Frank, asked him if he was coming. He said he was coming.
He's out of town.
He's not coming. Russ May, District 5 Commissioner, you're up.
Okay.
Russ May, congratulations on your re-election.
Thank you for their re-election. Thank you for the privilege to serve Granville County. Congratulations to Mark on his victory. And thank you for the party for putting together the Granville County Women GOP for putting together the card, and then you guys funding additional funding for the card. So they made a big difference at the polls. Thanks for those that volunteered as electioneering. Appreciate it. We got to do better there. We had a small number of people working outside the polls. We lost 2 elections.
Most everyone here.
Huh?
That's the most everybody here.
Yeah, working outside, we needed dozens. The Democrats had them at every poll. They actually, after early voting, we saw them out in the Brassville, Wilton area, canvassing. They canvassed, they beat us in canvassing, they put boots in the ground. And you know, we're fortunate that we won the national election. We lost badly at the state level. We lost both our representatives that could have made a huge difference and that to bring good things to Granville County. We've lost that. We lost the 4 top seats in the state council, council of government. And so those are huge. How do we make the difference? We need volunteers outside greeting people and willingness to start putting together some boots on the ground, door to door, and they did it. And we can't say, well, they paid them, and we can't do that or that. We know they're going to do that. It takes a commitment from more than 20 or 30 people. And so it's just frustrating to spend 17 days out there at early voting and it be covered by literally a handful of people. And candidates don't win if you're not out there for early voting. It just doesn't happen. So if someone comes to you and says, hey, I want to run for a local office, the first question I'm going to ask them, other than hopefully they're someone that we want to run for local office, is, are you willing to stand out there for 17 days every day and get enough people to stand at other early voting sites? Otherwise, you're not going to win, because you can make a difference out there. So we lost Representative Sossman by a few hundred votes. We lost Ashley's by, I think, less than 100.
32.
Yeah, but at the end of the day those are votes we could have had when you look at what they were doing. I went up and worked a few hours with Therese up at
Oxford.
yeah, and I'm going to be addressing that with the county attorney and with the Board of Elections, because what goes on up there is ridiculous.
Yes.
It's every bit of something that's just not appropriate.
And early voting up north.
Yeah, but at the end of the day but I'm not gonna criticize them for this. They had bodies out there and they were working it, and they had
They were
materials.
from California, they were from Orange County.
Thank
they
you
were
so
from
much.
Virginia.
So just to add some color and some clarification, while Frank Sossaman lost and while Ashley Adams lost, the Granville County, they did not lose in Granville County. We actually outperformed from the previous election. So they didn't lose here. Frank Sossaman won by 1,800 votes in 2022, and he won by 2,500 votes in 2024. And Ashley Adams, that Senate race, we had a viable candidate. So we actually won in Granville County every single race except for the governor's race. Josh Stein won the governor's race. We won every other one. Frank lost in Vance County in 2022 by 444 votes, and in 2024 by 2,750. So that doesn't mean that Russ's point is not well taken. I think that it is, and it was a strategy that we chose. What we chose to do on purpose was to recruit for poll chief judges, workers, and then greeters, because in 2020, they cheated, and they cheated inside of the polls. And we wanted to, the thought process was, if you own a store and you put a cop car outside of the store, it's much less likely that somebody's gonna throw a rock through your window. So an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So if we have people inside the polls in all spots, it's very difficult for them to cheat, which is true. But the problem is, when they do something that's not right or inappropriate, we're so limited to what it is that we can do, it almost doesn't even matter. So yeah, we did notice a couple of things that went wrong, and when it was brought up, the response was, well, there's nothing we can do. And so if there's nothing we can do, then I think we probably have to refocus and concentrate on getting people outside to deal with the greeting thing, because we're gonna try our best to get people inside. I think we can probably do both. Yeah. But I think that our recruiting focus probably needs to be reversed. And so the first thing we need to recruit is greeters, I think. And then we go down the line. But it was a strategic decision. We were successful, but not successful enough. And I don't think I am sorry that things happened the way that they did. There's another aspect that I think we have to also pay attention to, and the Libertarian candidate in Frank's race got 3,000 votes in Granville County. And so you gotta believe that those votes all go to Frank Sossaman. And that was on purpose too. And part of the reason why that was, the Libertarians have said, well, the Republicans didn't engage with us. and they didn't invite us to the table, and they didn't come and talk to us at all about any of our concerns, which is true. And they said, and for that reason, we said we're gonna kill the supermajority. It was on purpose. They did it on purpose. They don't care that we don't have the supermajority because they said, we're not getting anything from you people anyway, so we may as well kill your supermajority, and then maybe you'll pay attention to us. And I think that their point is well taken, and I think that the leadership of the NCGOP, they did what they did what they thought was right. They just have a different strategy, and I think that we're going to have new leadership. I hope, anyway. We're definitely going to have new leadership at this next convention. We have an election at this next convention coming up.
At the state level.
At the state level, right? At the state level, and at the county level. In our convention, which is on March, the 4th Thursday in March. So I think it's March 28th or March 27th. What time is it? So we're gonna skip him. Doug Smith, come on up, Doug. You got a couple minutes. 7:30. We got Brad 9.
I don't intend to take very long.
Oh, good.
I just want to let you all know, I'm one of those people on the inside. I'm
Yeah.
a member of the,
He is.
I'm on the Board of Elections, okay? As a board member, I can say we do our darndest to make sure everything goes as it's supposed to. I am spearheading some major changes in the training of all poll workers. And so we're trying to get some of the confusion out of it. Unfortunately, the board itself, not the board, but the staff at the Board of Elections is way overworked and way undermanned, but that's a statewide issue, okay? I didn't want to address that. There was a protest that was denied today. Mike can explain that more in detail. He knows a little more than I do. I was unavailable for today's meeting on that, so I'll let him go into that. There are a couple more protests and some more canvassing questions that will be addressed tomorrow at a 3 o'clock emergency meeting for anybody who wants to show up and listen to that. So, moving on to something a little bit more lighthearted. Speaking of elections, trivia quiz for everybody. When were women allowed the first vote in the United States? Or in America, let's put it that way. Anybody gonna say 1923? Wrong.
1914?
No,
No, 24.
Dang it.
it was actually at the founding of the country.
What?
Yes,
I had no idea.
women were granted the same privileges as men. In order to vote, you had to be a property owner.
Oh, yeah.
Now, women, at that time, most property was owned by the men or the husbands. But should a woman be widowed, then she inherited the husband's property and she had the right to vote. Property ownership was very important to the founding fathers because they felt you had to have skin in the game if you were gonna have a say in this. It was so important that the original draft of the Declaration of Independence said, life, liberty, and the pursuit of property.
Yeah, that's.
And it was later changed. So, but that was in the original draft. So that's how important it was to the founding fathers. So that's my little bit of election quizzing for tonight.
Thank you so much.
Right.
Thank you, Sarah. Mark Griffin, you're up, buddy.
Hey, bud.
Congratulations, Mark. Great job. Congratulations.
First of all, I want to thank God for allowing me to have this
Amen.
opportunity. Secondly of all, I want to thank the Republican Party and everybody in this room. This was not something I did on my own. This is something that took a lot of people. And I thank all of y'all. I thank you for the red cards. It's one of the greatest things I've ever seen, because like Russ said earlier, people were coming to the polls, and even though they may not have that little red card out, ladies had it in their pocketbook, men's had it in their pockets, and they sometimes wouldn't even take one from us, and as they walked off, we wondered, well, why didn't they take one? They already had one.
That's right.
So that was a great thing, and I hope that they keep that going. The other thing, to reiterate what Russ said, I just wish, I feel so hard-hearted that I couldn't do more to help Frank and Perry and Ms. Ashley. I really, really am downhearted about that, and I wish it was something else I could have done. But I tried to do all I could do. Like Russ said, I think it's awfully important for the candidate to be out there in front of those people.
Yeah.
One of the county commissioners told me way back in the primary when I first started out on this thing, said, he came by me and he said, I spent a lot of days up here standing here just like you are. He said, some people stand up here and win and some people won't.
Yeah.
I took what he said to heart, and I tried to model myself after that. And I stood a lot of time up there, but it would behoove me if I didn't thank Robert Bristow.
Yeah.
Some people may not know Mr. Bristow. I didn't know him before this election cycle. He came up there every day, and he was there at 7 o'clock.
Every day.
He put up a tent. He came, he ran down information. He put up tables. He brought food.
Yeah.
He stayed there from morning to night. And he was a great help and inspiration to me, and I just want to publicly thank him and let everybody know what a great help he was. In addition, my family, really did a lot for me, and I want to thank them a lot. I thank y'all again for everything you did. I hope I live up to the commitment I've made you, and I hope that I'm the county commissioner that y'all want me to be, because that's what I'm after. Thank you again for your support. I really appreciate it, and I plan my dead level best to live up to it. Thank y'all.
We need at least 20 volunteers to what Russ was saying. This was actually in our September slideshow, but the fact is we need 20 volunteers. We need 20 volunteers every month. We need 20 volunteers. The focus now is not going to be like in the past where, okay, the election's over and now we're just going to chill out and shut down. That's not what we're going to do. What we're going to do is we're going to focus on precinct development. We're going to focus on getting volunteers engaged. We're going to focus on explaining, that what we need to do is we need to be at every single polling place. We need to find people for every single polling place so that the Democrats are not the only ones that are standing there and we're outnumbering them. And we did that inside the polling place this time. But I think we need to do that outside the polling place next time. We have a long time. I think we have municipals next November. So municipals are very inexpensive and lightly attended. But this is a really good, dry run for 2026, which is going to be the midterms. And historically, the party in power gets beat on the midterms. I think if President Trump delivers on his agenda, I think maybe he won't get beat in the midterms. I think maybe we'll add. Brad Knott, our congressman, he's going to win. We're in R13 district. He won Granville County, but I think it was 17.5. So we overperformed there. But Brad's not going to lose. He's just not.
What else is in 26?
The
Sheriff.
yeah, is the big one for us. The sheriff is the big one for us.
Everybody.
I think we will have a Republican sheriff next time. I think we will. And I think we'll have a great candidate. I think we'll probably have a primary. So, I think we're going to have a great. I've spoken with a couple of candidates that have expressed interest, and they're all great. So we're going to have great candidates to run, and I think we'll win. So, Jackie, you got anything? You want to come up here, Jackie?
Well, I think I will.
Jackie, y'all take for everybody.
As you all know, we've been trying to work on our committees, and the one that I was going to focus on tonight, I had a lovely lady sign up for today.
Yay.
So that's always great, and that was voter registration. And your IT part. Yes. And, but anyway, voter registration, I was asking for somebody to be the chair of that. And what I'm looking for them to do is not plan all of the voter registration drives. What I'd really like to see happen is each precinct or a combination of precincts come up with a date throughout the year that they want to do, and that the chair, and maybe she can get a few more people to work with her, make sure that We have voter registration forms and all of the little things that we need in order to have that happen. And so that's what I was looking for a chair. And the rest of it is up to the precincts to make sure that they work toward having a voter registration drive in their precinct or in combination maybe with another precinct. And you know that we have some precincts that do not have chairs yet. We need to find people. We need to look for people. And so if you have anybody in mind, let us know so we can contact them and encourage them to be a part of this organization so that we can do what we were just talking about. Have 20 volunteers to be at the early voting, to have 5 or 10 people at each precinct on election day. And that's where that comes from. It comes from the precinct. So please help us find people for that. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I'll just say one other thing. So it doesn't have to be you tell us about them. You can go tell them. You can go say, hey, look, you want to get involved? Come to the next meeting with me. I mean, it's as simple as that. Get them here and then say, hey, this is my friend, you know, Joe, and he wants to get involved. That's all you got to say, and he'll be swarmed with people, and we'll get his contact information and then pester him.
As a matter of fact, I talked to people in Patna about that. I invited them to the meeting. I talked to the people in Patna and I said, you come to the meetings. They said they are conservative, but we have a Thursday meeting. I think they moved to the area, and I talked to two guys.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's you know, it doesn't have to be us, it can be you. Even if you say, well, I'm not gonna go knock on doors, or I don't wanna do that, you can be a mouthpiece, and that is a huge help, because a lot of it is getting the word out, you know, and so you can help in that effort. I wanted to just say that we had more volunteers. While we're complaining that we didn't have enough volunteers, we had more volunteers this election than I ever remember. We had more people participate than I ever remember. And so we're just incredibly humbled and grateful by that. The only way that we win is if we participate. If we don't participate, we don't win. It's just that simple. And so I'm just super grateful for your participation. Thank you so much. We, on our county commission, Russ was reelected in District 5. Mark, his seat is a hold. Perry had a good showing for a first-time candidate who's 24 years old, who ran against somebody who's been on the county commission for 30-odd years. So the fact that he was competitive is very impressive. So in 2026, we have county commission 6, 2, and 7. Right? 6, 2, and 7, right? Yeah. 6, 2, and 7, and school board 6, 2, and 7. Also, I think. Anyway, we'll nail that down. I think it's 6, 2, and 7.
Look at the 4-year terms at that point.
Because they'll be 4-year terms, right? So I think it's 6, 2, and 7 in 2026. So we need people to run for county commission in those areas, and we need people to run for school board in those areas. So, Brad, you got?
Yeah.
Brad Oldenburg, all right there.
So, we've got the raffle going again. The first one went really, really well. We got a lot of great feedback, both within the county participants and folks who've purchased tickets outside in other counties. And the feedback, the most positive of the feedback is the quality of the guns that we're getting.
Yeah.
So we've continued that. We've gotten off to a little bit of a slow start. I attribute it to the election, right? Everybody's been focused on the election, but now that that's over, hopefully we can pick up the sales. We sold about 330 tickets so far out of the 1,000, so it's not bad. Something to think about, 2 things. If you think you're gonna buy tickets, 2 things. Thanksgiving, we're having a special drawing, and on Christmas, we're having a special drawing. So it's a bonus drawing for people who bought tickets, before the January drawing. Also, they make great Christmas presents, great stocking stuffers. So, do that. We also need people to sell tickets. Last time, I think probably 90% of the tickets were sold by 5 people. So if we can get more, that'll help, right? So, you know, if you think you can sell 5 or 10 or, you know, 20 or just
Or
family
4,
members or whatever, even 4, right? Yeah, yeah, because we, you know, 1 for $30, 4 for $100, so increments of 4 would be really helpful. If you think like you can sell some tickets, reach out to me, stop in the office and see Mike. We both have tickets that we can get out to people. We're getting out some more social media, emails to people within the county and outside the county, and that's helping out a lot. I don't know if you were gonna cover the office, but I'd like to touch base on that real quick. A year ago, this month, we made, the executive committee made a huge decision and a huge leap of faith, and we were all scared. I won't say how scared we were, but I'll keep it clean. But yeah, but it was like it's a big deal, right? And as it turns out, over the course of the year, it's just been a huge success, right? I mean, in spite of the fact that we were concerned about the financials aspect of it, I won't leave all the details, but we've got, even after the election and paying rent for a year and everything else, we're in phenomenal financial shape going forward, and that's a positive thing. Last night we had a quick discussion about you know, moving forward and if we wanted to continue to do it, and the vote was unanimous that we do. So we're going to keep the office. We're in the belly of the beast. We get Republicans, Democrats, unaffiliated stopping in all the time. Sometimes people are throwing sign language at us when we're out front or whatever, but we just smile and wave.
Less than I thought.
Yeah, less than I thought. Yeah, absolutely. And we also registered, Mike, registered dozens of people just stopping in and registering. So I think it's been a big success. If there's one of the things out there that you want to help participate with, especially if it's a financial aspect, think about donating the building fund, right? That's where, you know, we have things separated for those two things, and the building fund is what we can use for that. So I want to thank everybody for their support on that. I think it was a really good success, and I'm feeling good from the financial aspect of it. I think we can spend the next year kind of building things up and preparing ourselves for 2026, where we're going to have some really important county commissioner seats. The sheriff's going to be some kind of battle, I'm sure, and I think you're right. I think we're going to have a good primary. So buy tickets, sell tickets, see Mike, see myself, see anybody else in the executive committee. We'll be happy to get them to you. If you want to pick up some tonight, I'll be outside, and like I said, you can go online and get them, or reach out. Go ahead.
Did anyone plan on Halloween?
He did not. Yeah, that really bummed me out. Yeah, and it was, yeah, it was, yeah. So hopefully Thanksgiving and Christmas we will. And of course, we want to sell all our tickets, so, if we do that, then we'll be in good shape. Thank you.
All right. All right, let's see if this works, and let's see if Brad's on here.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, 7th, perfect time.
Good one.
While we're waiting, can I thank Russ and the county commissioners for what they put into this system?
Sure.
This building, because the last couple of times I've watched it on YouTube, and the sound is phenomenal. The cameras going back and forth is really good. They really, really did a good job. And now people can't say they don't know what's going on. Well, they can. They have one less excuse now, because they can watch it. They can watch it live with the recording. So.
Did everyone here get a red card but me?
You didn't get a red card?
My whole family didn't get one. I should have had 3 at my house. I think Youngsville Post Office did something on that.
Recording in progress.
Because I didn't get, I should have gotten 3 of them.
We had that problem in, Fuller also.
I got mine, but I got an auction address in Belleville.
We set them every address.
Yeah.
Oh, you know why Youngsville, I think the reason Youngsville didn't get them is because they're split between 2 counties. And in order to bulk mail them, they have to mail it to everybody in Youngsville with that zip code.
That's exactly right.
So that's what happened, was Youngsville did not get them.
Yeah, because there's 3 counties. There's
Yes.
Wade, Franklin,
that's why, because they couldn't get the bulk rate just to mail it to our county.
What does it say? Please start what?
Spread over 3 counties, so there's a.
Okay, so it wasn't the post office.
So it wasn't that.
That's crazy.
I know.
Why's that backwards?
I don't know.
Looking through the looking glass.
Oh, Mike, speaking of that,
Mhm.
I have a quick question. When we sent out those red cards, do you know if post office boxes get them? Because we were told that post office boxes do not get any of those kind of things. And I was like,
If we send them to the PO box, if that's the route that if we put that route on. So I would say we probably did not. Just because,
Probably depends on the people that have the PO boxes.
it's a lot of money.
Sometimes just get rid of the junk.
Cause you know, there's so many PO boxes, so it's a lot of money at 22 cents a piece. And a lot of the people that have PO boxes, you know, if we're going to their physical address, we just tried to. So Youngsville, part of the reason why is cause with every door direct mail, there's overlap. And so when we looked at it, the original mailer, there was one route in the city of Oxford that we didn't include, and there was a couple in 27596 that we didn't include because like a quarter of it was in Granville, and then 2/3 of it was in Franklin County, and Franklin County did a red card also. And so we didn't want to confuse the Franklin County voter because it was the first time they'd ever done it. They did the same thing like we did, every door direct mail, and we just tried to not overlap this year. I think next year we'll probably do it, you know, I don't know, we'll see, you know. But yeah, that's why you probably didn't get it, because you're probably in that route, you know, that overlaps. I don't know where Brad Knott is, I don't see him. But we're on the, what do you call it? Let's see.
It says, please start.
I don't know what it says.
I'm
Twin meeting?
No, it says, please start.
Webcam? Oh,
You have to go and click that little video on the little video stick.
it says please start webcam. There, I started it. Yeah, so, this is the third or fourth year that we've done the red card, or third or fourth election that we've done the red card. We've gotten, you know, fantastic feedback from the red card. I feel like we kind of have to do it at this point. So, you know, it takes money, obviously. And so we're gonna just try our best to raise money over this year so that when we go into 2026, we're not concerned about whether or not we have enough money to do the red card. We're not concerned about whether or not we have enough money to participate in it. We're gonna participate in it. I will take this opportunity, since I guess Brad's not gonna make it. So our state plan of organization, which is the governing documents of the party, I'm on that state committee. And we're trying our best to change that plan of organization, to radically change that plan of organization. So that what I'm pushing for, and hasn't happened yet, is that districts and counties can participate in primaries. And part of the reason why that is, right now, the way the rules are, is we have to stay neutral in primary elections. But what that does, so the Democrats, so you know, they don't stay neutral in primary elections. They pick their horse in the primary. And one of the things that I noticed, especially this year, is a lot of people came into the office during the primaries and asked us who to vote for. And what I realized is the reason why they did that is because who would know besides us? You know, we're the ones that should know. And then we say, oh yeah, we give them this song and dance as if we don't know. But one of the things is, you know, Mark Robinson, God love him, he was a flawed candidate, and we all knew way in the beginning that there was no way he was going to win the general election. So that was not a secret in Republican circles. We all knew that. Can you imagine if 70 counties endorsed Dale Folwell? I think he probably would have won the primary. And if that would have been the case, Dale Folwell would have won the general election in a walk. He would have won by a lot. So that's another big one. And the other thing is, there's accusations of a candidate helping the Libertarian candidate so that one of the Congress people can lose, a congressional candidate would lose. And so if that district can now participate in the primary, then if that person runs again, they can say, we can't support her. She helped the Libertarian candidate, so the other person would lose. You see what I'm saying? So there's merits to it. Some people don't agree, but what I'm trying to do is get it out of committee so that we can get it to the convention, so that, because I think personally that the people at the state convention are gonna say yes 100%.
Brad said he'll be with you in 5 minutes, and then we're out to the hotel.
Okay, great. Well, I'll stop this and go back on. Thanks, Brad.
Now, as far as turnout goes, Granville County had a massive turnout.
71.2, I think.
Yeah, over 30,000 votes, almost over 32,000 votes. And all those.
Which is 10,000 more than we had in 2022.
Every one of those ballots is being recounted as we speak.
Yeah, and so that's huge. And Sassafras Fork had, what was it, 91% or 92% turnout?
It was at least 90.
It's nuts. That's crazy. That's almost everybody that was eligible to vote.
There's a little over 40,000 registered voters in the county, and 32,000 on the plus.
That's nuts.
showed up.
I mean, that's a lot.
Just general election, go to the midterm, just gonna go down. Just general election, people come out in the midterm, nobody will come out.
How many were same day
Later will be,
registration?
but not people.
Huh?
How many voters were same day registered?
Nobody.
Oh, I don't know that. I don't know that. It's a good question, but I don't know.
Yeah,
It is presidential.
I'm not sure myself.
So, you know, that was one of the things I just wanted to let everybody know. Our plan of organization, our county plan of organization. This is some of the stuff we discussed last night at the meeting. So when we rewrote it in 2021, it was very reactionary. So there's a lot of stuff in there that really fix temporary problems that were happening at that moment. And so if you read it now, it almost doesn't make sense. A lot of what's in there, like, I read it and was like, well, why is this here? It doesn't even need to be here anymore. And so we invite anybody that wants to participate in that. I'm gonna put it up on the website and send some emails out about that. But what I did was I really pared it down to where I'm trying to use the least amount of words, which is super hard for me, but I'm trying to use the least amount of words as possible and get the point across, you know? And I think we can do that. I've trimmed it down quite a bit, pages actually. A lot of what we have in there is really not plan of organization, it's really policy and procedure. And so policy and procedure kind of will shift. It doesn't always stay the same. So I'm trying to get rid of a lot of that. And that will be something that we're voting on in March at our convention. We'll also be voting on the officers of our party, chair, vice chair, treasurer, secretary, finance committee chair. The filing period starts January 1st to February 14th. You have to send the email to info@granvillejp.org and say, I want to file, and give your information, name, phone number, email, address, and what you want to run for. So that's coming. There'll be 10 emails that get sent out to everybody. You'll be like, another one, and they'll say 10th notice. Literally last time there was 11 notices, last time we had an election, and I had people on the day come up to me and say, I didn't get a notice. And I said, come on, man, it's literally 11 notices, like, come on. So, and it's been on the it'll be on the website for a dog's age. Let me get back to what else we covered. Brad talked about the office, which is awesome. You know, I'm super excited that we decided to keep it. I thought that was a great thing. It was more successful than I thought it was gonna be. One of the things I thought was the office, if we don't have the office, we're gonna have to have a storage unit. So we may as well just have an office, because we're not saving all that much money by just having a storage unit. And so if we have an office, we have a presence, we're a viable party, we're the real thing. The Democrats, from what I understand, are gonna close their office this month. So then they won't have an office. They had a temporary office, anyway.
Are they gonna open it back up in election time?
I think that's their plan, you know, I think their plan is that at election time, they open the office. And usually that's what a lot of counties do, that's what a lot of parties do. But I think that we should not do that, personally. I think we should keep the office open. The executive committee that was there, they were actually like.
Brad said he clicked on the Zoom link.
All right, hang on. I'm coming, Brad, I'm coming.
And it's going through.
Recording in progress.
All right, admit Brad not, yay! Are you there? You're muted, Brad. Oh, there he is! Can you hear me now?
That sounds like a commercial. Was that Verizon?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
He can't see.
You can't see me. I don't know what the heck's going on with the camera. Text him. Tell him we see him. Tell him I don't know what's wrong with the super camera.
Well, it's the sound, I don't care.
Or the sound. Let's see.
Look on the arrows, yeah, see what you have.
All right, how about this? All right, can you hear me?
Have him speak, see if we can hear him now.
How about now? How about now? Dang it, I'm so sorry. Hello, hello, hello. All right, can you hear me, Brad? No, he can't hear us.
Maybe go out and go back in.
The audio settings were at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right there, right?
See where's the audio settings?
there you go.
Okay. There, that should be good.
Hey, Mike.
Hey! There he is, finally! I'm really sorry about the camera. I don't know what the deal is with that, but so everybody can see you. You're on 4 TVs.
Oh, good.
So it's super exciting.
We can't hear it though.
What'd you say?
We can't
Can't
hear
hear
it.
it.
Put that mic down.
It's been nonstop. You know, I just got back to the hotel room. I have not had supper yet, but it has been a busy few weeks, and I'm glad to be up here. It's been productive, but I'm ready to see my girl. I'm ready to go home.
I bet you are. I bet you are.
Yes. Well, how is everybody?
Well, we're good.
Good.
I'm trying to figure out this audio.
Well, look at this real quick. Can y'all see that?
Yes.
That's my almost 4-year-old daughter eating dessert with my wife tonight at our favorite restaurant in Raleigh, and she was extra well behaved today, so she got a treat to go to get dessert with mom. So that was heartwarming for Dad to get up here for sure.
Well, that's super exciting. That's super exciting.
Oh yeah.
So are you coming home tomorrow?
Yeah, we figure out where our offices are gonna be tomorrow. We've got a little, I don't know how it works exactly, but there's some sort of lottery system that we get a draw for, and then we've got a few more meetings, mostly organizational, nothing too substantive, a lot of procedure, a lot of meet and greets for the incoming members, and then I'll head to the airport around 3:30 tomorrow. So.
Cool. Have you met anybody cool?
Yeah, it's the incoming class. I'm really
cautiously bullish about. From our delegation, I've just by the way of the arrangement, I've been able to spend a lot of time with Mark Harris, who's replacing Dan Bishop, and then obviously Pat Harrigan. The three of us spent a lot of time together, and I think very highly of both of them. As McDowell is obviously up here, and Tim Moore, he's been up here, but he's had to go back and forth, obviously presiding over the veto overrides, doing important work for North Carolina. But yeah, I mean, the rest of the folks in the class outside of North Carolina, we've slowly had some trickles come in as votes are finalized, and Lord willing, we're going to have a productive start to the new year. I mean, everyone seems to be fairly focused on working, and we're getting subtle clues. I don't think they're showing all their cards yet, they being leadership, but we're hearing about what the priorities are going to be, and the thesis of our focus is basically going to be working with leadership to best support President Trump. And he came and spoke to the conference. He came and spoke to us the first few days we were up here, and yeah, it's just been nonstop ever since then. And it's hard to be up here and not be able to work, get things moving. But that'll come in January, and we're excited to get started.
So let me ask you the question that I know is on everybody's mind. Tell us about the bathroom.
Honestly, we've been so busy with stuff that I have not really engaged a whole lot with that particular issue. I mean, I've run across Congress, the Congresswoman, or whatever you want to call her, Sarah McBride from Delaware. No direct interactions, but we're all in the group together.
Is she nice?
I haven't spoken, but
Seems nice enough?
she had nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay.
But I'm under no illusions that I would expect whenever the opportunity arises for issues to be made, as it were. But for me personally, I'm happy that Speaker Johnson did what he did. I mean, there's obviously some reality that you have to deal with, and Nancy Mace and Marjorie Taylor Greene have spearheaded this issue very aggressively, and it was dealt with. And so I'm more apt to focus on why I ran in the first place, and what a tragic reminder we all have today with Laken Riley's the murderer getting sentenced today and convicted. And that's kind of the tenor that I've focused on, and the mess out of Delaware and all that to me is a very real distraction from what we came here to do. And I hope that issue will subside. I hope that people will be respectful of one another on all sides, and that we can get forward or get focused on moving forward on things like the border and like punishing illegal immigrants who are here and damaging our country. And that's been my drumbeat ever since I got up here. Anyone who will listen to me, I will talk to them about my experience as a prosecutor, what I saw, what I think needs to happen, and how we should go about doing that. And it's been very well received so far. So, Lord willing, we can put some of the distractions aside and we can get moving on President Trump's agenda. And my hope is that regardless of position, that again, people will be respectful and abide by the Speaker's order. And I expect that to happen at least in the short term.
Have you had the opportunity to get to know Speaker Johnson at all? Have you interacted with him at all?
Oh yeah, he's been very hands-on. He's had us up to his chamber and his office and engaged with us a lot. I mean, politically, he needed our support within the conference to get repositioned as Speaker. Mm-hmm. And the whole House will vote on that in January once the new Congress is sworn in, but he's our nominee from the Republican side. And it seems like people are willing